Hey guys, Rusty over here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get the new Bound Shadehound mount in patch 9.0.5, and this is going to be the third mount that does work in the maw, and also in my opinion by far the easiest, as it doesn't rely on RNG, and you also have to clear layer 8 of twisting corridors. Again, this mount is really easy to get, although it is fairly time consuming to do. So with that being said, let's just get right into the guide. So first things first, you need to buy a Stygia dowser from Venari, which is a new item that she sells with the patch. Now, after testing out on some alts, it does seem you need to be max reputation or appreciative reputation with Venari in order to even see the item on the vendor. Now, if that's not the case for some of you guys, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll pin a comment if that's not the case. But right now, it does seem you need to be max reputation with her. So go ahead and buy the Stygia dowser. Now, this is going to do two things. First one is going to be, there's going to be these small green clouds in the maw now, which are the Stygia nexuses. You can track these now with the Stygia dowser. They appear like, like an herb or an ore node, little yellow dot on your minimap. And if you go up to them and use your Stygia dowser and right click, that'll let you suck in the dust. You'll gain some Stygia, but also you'll gain some Stygia dust and also some Stygia slivers. More on those later on. Now, once you have the Stygia dowser, and also make sure if for somehow reason you don't have it, you have the item that lets you use the grapple points in the maw, head over to Domination Keep and Perdition Hold. Now, once you're there, of course, show the location on the map. Once you're there, there's going to be a grapple point that leads you up to your first puzzle. Go ahead and click that, and there's going to be a big green cloud of dust, basically. And essentially, you're just going to keep following to the left there, ignore the first cloud, doesn't matter. And there's going to be a second grapple point leading up to an even larger green cloud of dust. And go ahead and use that grapple point. And once you're there, you're going to gain an extra action button, essentially letting you use your Stygia dowser on the dust. You do have to click the extra action button, though, not the item. Go ahead and use that, and it'll turn you into a ghost, and there will be a chest and of these pillars with runes on them. Now, on the chest, if you click two of the runes on it, it'll swap their locations, and you have to put these runes in a certain order. By the way, if you fail too many times, you will get kicked out, and you have to wait 2 hours until you could do it again. Now, if in order to see the order of the runes, you're going to look on these spikes and the runes on there. Now, the way this works is that to the left of the grapple point facing the chest, that is going to be the first rune. So simply put the runes in the order they are on the spikes, and then the chest will open. You can loot it, giving you the crumbling steel epic item. That is going to be your first puzzle done, and pretty much the only puzzle. It's really not that difficult, guys. Again, just follow the order of the runes, put them in the order in the chest. First one being to the left of the grapple point, again facing the chest, and then you'll get the crumbling steel epic item that you can right click and read. So once you have the crumbling steel from the puzzle, head back over to Venari, and she's going to sell you a new item, which is the partial rune codex for 2,000 Stygia. Go ahead and buy that from her and right click it. That is important in order to trigger the other runes, as far as I can tell. Now, once you right click it and read it, essentially you need to find 3 missing rune pages. Now, the order you find these in doesn't really matter, so I'll just do the order that I did for you guys. The first one I went over to was over in the Beast Warrens. This is actually part of the Night Fae Covenant questline cave. I will of course show you the cave's location on the map, but it's near the southern end of the Beast Warrens. Head into the cave, and all the way at the back, once you clear out all the mobs, there's going to be a rune on the floor there. Go ahead, pick it up. It'll put a rune in your inventory. Make sure you right click it, and it'll add it to the partial rune codex. Now, the second one, you're going to head back to Perdition Hold. This one can be a little tricky just because there's so many elite mobs there. But this is near the grapple area where you did the puzzle. Head over to the left, and there's actually a rare spawn does spawn here. If he's up, just hug the right side and go around till you eventually see the second rune page on the ground. Again, once you get it, go ahead and right click it, and that'll put it into your partial rune codex. Now, the third one and final one is going to be in the Tremaculum. Head over to basically over there, and on the ground there's going to be a teleporter that as soon as you step on it, it will teleport you up to during the intro mall quest line where Anduin was being turned into a sex slave by Sylvanas. Now, over there, right under the axe, you're going to have the third and final rune page. Once you've collected all 3 rune pages and put them into the partial rune codex, the item will transform into the intact rune codex, and you're going to need that. So once you have the intact rune codex, go ahead and right click it, and essentially this is basically, it tells you how to complete the mount if you weren't watching the video, but of course show you what to do in the video. Now, you're going to need your Stygia Dowser here, and this is where the Stygia Dust and the Stygia Slivers come back into play. You need to farm out a total of 200 of each of the items. Again, 200 Stygia Dust, 200 Stygia Slivers in order to craft Stygia bars. Now, essentially, guys, just you're going to go around the mall, look out for those yellow dots in your minimap. Again, like any other herb or ore node. Go ahead once you find those. They're in set spawn locations, by the way, but once you find those Stygia Nexuses, use your Stygia Dowser and keep farming those out until you have 200 of Stygia Dust and Stygia Slivers, and this is going to be the most time-consuming part of the whole puzzle. This will take you a few hours, guys, especially because they do not, you can't share them with other players. Once one player sucks one in, it's gone, although they do respawn fairly quick, and they are in set spawn locations for the most part. So again, guys, farm out 200 Stygia Slivers, 200 Stygia Dust. Now, once you have 200 Stygia Slivers and Dust, you're going to need the Soul Forger's Tools, which comes from Soul Forger Rovas, basically at Zoval's Cauldron, which only spawns once you translate the Runic Codex. Basically, you get all the rune pages in. So, head over to Zoval's Cauldron, wait for the rare guy to spawn, of course, show you his location on the map if you're not sure what that is, kill him, and you will get the Soul Forger's Tools. Now, once you have those tools, you want to head back over to Perdition Hold, to the area where you did the puzzle with the green dust and the chest, right? Head back over there, and you're going to keep climbing all the way to the top. Now, some of the grapple points can be a little tricky. Essentially, just look up. Keep climbing the grapple points until you eventually get all the way to the top where a rare spawn would spawn. Keep going a little bit forward. There will be one additional grapple point which will lead you to the Soul Steel Anvil, where you will craft some things. Now, once you're there, you're going to craft 20 of the Stygia bars, hence why you needed 200 of the Stygia Dust and also 200 of the Stygia Slivers, since it takes 10 of each to craft the Stygia bar, and you need 20. Basic math, right? Once you have the 20 bars, you're going to create the Armored Husk. You need 20 Stygia bars and also the Soul Forger's Tools. Go ahead, craft the Armored Husk, and that's basically the main crafting part done. So once you have the Armored Husk, you need to go and get the Willing Wolf Soul, which comes from the Stray Soul, which is just the Wolf Soul. Now, this Wolf Soul essentially walks down the Gorgia, I think that's how you say it, essentially the River of Souls, starting from the Crucible of the Dam side, making its way all the way down, and once it reaches all the way down, it'll despawn and then immediately respawn at the top. So what I recommend doing is spawning or starting on the opposite end of the Crucible of Dams and the River of Souls, right? And just keep traveling back and forth the River of Souls until you eventually see the Stray Soul, which will appear on your minimap, by the way, as a Stray Soul. And essentially, it's just a wolf spirit. So again, guys, essentially, just to summarize this, keep walking up and down the River of Souls until you find the Stray Soul. Now, once you do, right-click it, it'll go into your Soul Keeper, and you will get an item, which is the Willing Wolf Soul. Now, once you have the Willing Wolf Soul and the Armored Husk, you need to complete the Binding Ritual. Now, you're going to head over to the altar, the Binding Altar, which is right next to Venari's Refuge. Make sure you do clear out all the mobs there, as they can interrupt you, and also the freaking Stygia Towers can interrupt you. That's annoying. Anyways, click on the altar, and once the channel is done, you will gain the Feral Shadehound item, and you will also receive a quest. Make sure you go ahead and accept that quest. Now, once you accept the quest, and before you right-click the quest item, go ahead and right-click on the Crumbling Steel item, and that should still be in your inventory. And on it, there's going to be 4 different runes on it. Now, once you actually right-click the quest item and start it, these runes are going to be important. So either memorize them, take a screenshot, or just take a picture on your phone like I did, right? Probably the easiest way to do that instead of trying to memorize it. Once you do that, though, go ahead and right-click on the quest item, and it will put you on the mount. Once you're on it, you need to bind the mount to you, and you do this by clicking for the extra action buttons in the correct order. The correct order being the order that they are in the Crumbling Steel, hence why you want to memorize that order or just take a picture or something. Anyways, once you click the runes in the correct order, the quest will be complete, the mount will be bound to you. Go ahead, turn it in, and you will receive the Bound Shadehound mount, which does work in the maw, and is, again, in my opinion, the easiest mount to get that works in the maw. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. That is how you get the Bound Shadehound mount, and I'm going to be real with you guys. I actually had a lot of fun doing this series of, I guess it's just really just a quest line, or a secret quest line, whatever you want to call it. It was actually a lot of fun, and I wish Blizzard would do more stuff like this, and also maybe turn up the difficulty of it a little bit. I think it would make mount getting a lot more fun than just killing a simple rare spawn. But anyways, guys, that is the whole guide. That is it. If you have any questions, as usual, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. If the video helped you out, do me a favor, throw it a like. It helps me out. Hey, sub to the channel if you're not already, if you enjoy the content. And as always, guys, Halo 3 is the best Halo. That is a fact. That's it. And that's a fact. Like, you could have other opinions, but they're wrong. Alright, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.